Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jace Beleren Must Die. Carlos, tell us all about what Winnegar is getting up to. So while your friends are all off goofing around and playing with knives, what are you doing?
The plan was for Winnegar to because he's a Vidalcan, to use his urban infrastructure.
Yeah. And I think that's a guild perk, right? Because the Izzet have access to all these basically the blueprints of Ravnica.
Yeah. How would he obtain those blueprints? So
You have access to an Izzet, like a library. See, library is too fun of a word. Archive's also too fun. Whatever
like
the more boring version of an archive is, if there's microfiche, you're looking at it.
Oh, I love microfiche.
Right? Yeah. So whatever the Izzet equivalent of that is, where you have it's a like a civic archive of various like building permits and all of that infrastructural stuff.
Catalogs.
Yeah,
Dewey Decimal System. How long would it take for me to run out, pick up the police station prints, and like run back to host in the shell?
Probably not too long. It sort of depends on if you want to be surreptitious about it, because as with any like catalog, you have to you would find the thing, you'd check it out, or make a copy and then come back, but you'd have to like let everybody know you were doing that. Your name would be on a record somewhere as having looked up the blueprints of this particular thing, because it's like, looking up police station blueprints is the kind of thing that the Senate would look for if they were looking for people committing crimes, right? Like, it's suspicious. Yeah, Dovin is pretty much like personally creating the Ravnican NSA, and you would definitely be on a list.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so since I don't know anything else that was happening with everyone else, I'm gonna say Winnegar goes and he uses disguise self to look like Wenzel and check out the blueprints. Or no, who's the guy that I passed by? Who's the guy that I passed by in the junkyard?
Ral Zarek.
Oh, you want to disguise self as the Ral Zarek?
Yeah, I'm just setting up everyone to go down.
No, that's even more perfect. It couldn't be any more perfect than that. That's fantastic. Let me add Ral to our pile of important character magic cards.
AKA revenge
that
people.
Winnegar personally is made angry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Let's grab Ral's magic card. Okay, all right. So
Winnegar keeps picking people that he thinks are untouchable, but apparently they're touchable. Like apparently they can all go down.
Yeah, I mean, Ral is a significant figure, which is great. It's going to be very easy to get what you want among the Izzet when you're disguised as Ral Zarek. Let's go ahead and add so we know what your disguise looks like. I'll throw them on the board here in our big pile of thematic cards. And there we go. Okay, so back on the Ravnica city map here, you're gonna head to the archives, and you're gonna disguise self as the viceroy of the Izzet League.
Oh, jeez.
Ral Zarek. He's a huge deal. Yeah, he's a big deal. He's like friends with Niv Mizzet personally. He has this like massive funding for his lab. He's a big deal. He's a visionary. And now you look like him. So you head to the archives, and when you get there, it is a bustling place. It's a big building. There are several different wings containing all of the records of pretty much everything. It's like a patent office mixed with a civic archive. There are historical maps of going back thousands of years. Because Ravnica has been around a long time, and the Izzet League has for a long time too. And so if you needed a 2,000-year-old blueprint for a building that is now 5 substratum below the main streets, you could find it here. This is a big and very cool place. but you're here with a purpose. So you show up dressed as Ral, magically inclined to look like him. And and so you walk in, and everywhere you go, you're getting like people looking at you, a lot of smiles and nods, some waves. How are you preventing people from coming up and talking to you?
I want to be wearing sunglasses.
Right. Okay, good. So we see Ral Zarek wearing Ray-Bans. Good. Okay, cool. It's the Ferris Bueller disguise. Okay. All right. So you have sunglasses on, which you're hoping will keep people from coming up and talking to you.
So I have the sunglasses on, and I kind of go. I guess there's like probably a front desk, like a library.
Yeah. And it's like when you walk in, there is I was gonna say it's a garden, but it's an Izzet garden, so it's like all like concrete and like statues, like brass and like bronze statues and stuff. But as you come into the main room, I would say that the archive probably has a central hub and then several other buildings for different stuff. And those buildings have multiple floors, some underground, some above ground. But in the central building, there is an area where people like meet. There's probably like a coffee shop, and then there's a big circular desk. And then behind it, you can see there's the symbol of the Izzet League, and then there's like a dozen like clerks at this desk, and they're all operating machines and talking to people. And as you walk up, there's a Vidalcan woman who she doesn't look up when you approach. She just says, she's like, "How can I help you?"
And I like tap the counter like one of those, like, and I like lean across and like I tilt my sunglasses down and be like, "I'm gonna need a lot of help today."
And she looks up, like initially she's like, "Who the hell is?" Oh my, Viceroy.
I do one of these.
Yes, of course, Viceroy. Anything that I can do to help. What do you need from the archives today?
And I've written it down on, I would imagine it's not like I could say police station near this thing.
Yeah.
So I wrote down
the
like
address
and like the location and all the things that I need. And I kind of just like push the paper, like over. This is kind of like, it's a heist, you know what I mean? But it's not, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to get one over. So I'm just like pushing this paper over. I'm just like, think you'd help me out with that?
So you only recognize this change in her biology because you yourself are a Vidalcan. Vidalcan are quite dark skinned, so it's hard to tell when they blush, but she changes her shade of blue in her face slightly. And she looks up and she's like, "With pleasure, Viceroy. I'll take you to the wing myself." And she gets up and she turns to one of the other clerks and she's like, "Cover for me." And she says, "Right this way, Viceroy, please."
I take like a handful of candies that she has. Like, yeah, let's do it.
So it's a pretty good Ral Zarek impression, to be honest. Okay, so the two of you head off towards the archive, and obviously, because you've given me this beautiful opportunity, we linger a moment in the central room, long enough to see through the side door. Ral Zarek walks in.
Oh no!
So as you leave, Ral comes in the other side, and he looks like he's moving with a purpose. He looks like he's got some stuff to do in the archives today.
And he's like, "Where are my sunglasses?"
Yes. He walks up to the desk, and that same guy who is like, "Oh, cover for me." He wasn't really looking at who this woman was talking to, and he looks up, and you see him on his face be like, "Wait a second. Viceroy, how can I help you?" And Ral leans down to the desk and does the little like, "I need some information." And he's like, "Of course, Viceroy. Anything you need." And then we fade to fake Ral and this clerk, and the two of you are walking down the hall of one of the archives. So in the archives, I imagine that most of the modern archives, the older stuff, like was stored on scrolls, then books, but the modern archives probably have like brass punch cards. And there's like a big central kind of like block of computers basically, but they're like steampunk computers. So they're, they've got big valves and flashing lights and stuff, but you go to the area you need, you find the punch card, you read it in, and then it can give you a printout or display a feed of whatever you're looking for.
Okay.
And so you're walking through these card catalogs that contain all of the various punch cards. The clerk probably is trying to make like small talk with you.
Oh, I'm all about it. I'm all
Yeah.
about that small
Okay.
talk.
Yeah.
He's just like, as it like zooms into a conversation, it's like halfway through a conversation. It's like, oh yeah, so then I'm the one who said, look at the top 2 cards from your library. Throw one in your hand, throw one in the graveyard. That was me.
Very topical. I like that. Nice. And she's like, yeah, she's nodding and she says, oh, we've heard all kinds of stories about your work, Viceroy. You're doing very, very good things. We don't see you or your team very often down here. Always looking forward, right? Life's a little dull in the archives sometimes, but we hear stories.
Hear stories, huh? Well, what's that? I hope they're all good stories, huh?
Yeah, yes, of course, Viceroy. Yes, and you can see like she's just like so like flummoxed right now. She doesn't know what to say to you. She wants you to think she's cool, but she's just like, you know, kind of a nerdy librarian. But she's absolutely having like. There's going through her head, and this doesn't really work because she doesn't have hair, but like in her fantasy, there is a like moment where she like takes her glasses off and like takes her hair down. And, you know, you get to really see her for the sexy Vidalcan librarian she really is. But in real life, she's just like, ugh, I don't know what to say to Ral. He's so cool. Yeah. So she leads you into the architectural archives, and she says, well, this is where we keep all of the information on architecture from Precinct 1. I've cross-referenced it with the information that you were looking for while we were on our way over here. But Viceroy, I have to tell you, this information has been classified of late. Of course, you can see it. You're the Viceroy. You can do anything. But we've had some requests from the Senate. Well, I'm sure you know all about this already. I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. This is archive talk. And so she's like, it's this way, and she goes to take out her like keys, and she has to like unlock this area of the archive. Wow. Yeah. So this information is like secret or whatever.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I think.
Well, it's complicated because it's not really like the Izzet League owns this information, but the Senate has kind of put a like, don't show it to anybody like seal on it. And there's some jurisdictional headbutting where the Izzet are like, this is our info, and they're like, yeah, but it's info about our buildings, and like,
yeah. I think Winnegar is just like his like eyes kind of pop, and he's just like, oh crap, like this goes all the way to the top. Play cool, Winnegar. And he pops another like candy, just like, well, just as long as you're not opening this door for just about anyone, am I right? And he like puts his hand on her shoulder.
Yeah, you feel her like go rigid when you touch her. She's just like, ugh. And she's like, no, Viceroy, of course not, just for you. Well, okay. And anyone with the proper clearance, of course.
Just for you and anyone with the proper clearance. Spoken like a true Izzet.
Right. Exactly.
Pillow talk by Izzet.
Yeah, anyone with the right card key.
How do I duplicate something here? How would I duplicate?
Yeah. Do you ask her, or do you just like, so you would know, you've been in the archives a bunch of times before.
Yeah.
Normally, like non-secret information, you find the card that you need. There would be a local like confirmation machine, basically, where you just like plug it in and gives you the little microfiche version. You're like, okay, this is what I need. And then you take it to one of the hubs. They're laid out all throughout the archives. And it can either give you a hard copy of the info, like a map, a printout, or there's like a bigger screen that you can view it on. Like a projector.
Yeah. As soon as she pulls the file, I want to see. I basically want to ask her if she could run down and make a copy for me real quick. Like get me to the top of the list to like just make a quick copy because I'm in and out. I got all these people stopping me whenever I'm going to play. I mean, that's why I wear these, the RAL bands.
RAL band.
She's like, well, they do make you look very very cool, Viceroy. Of course. You stay here, and I'll take this. And she takes the punch card, and I'll have a hard copy made for you in just a jiffy. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, I won't. Don't work too hard on that copy.
And she turns and she walks out, and we stay with her. She walks through the hallway, and she's like muttering to herself, and we can hear her like shoes clicking on the floor, and it's like looking at it, and she's like, he touched me. Like, this is the best day of my life. Meanwhile, though, we cut back, and we hear whistling to himself. We hear Ral, his Viceroy, and he walks towards he's walking towards the door of the archive, and it opens, and he walks inside, and she sees him, and like makes a face, and he looks at her, and he kind of like smiles and like gives her a little like finger on, like, yep, that's right, it's me. Gives her a wink, and she's like, sir? And he puts his hands up. He's like, yep, that's right, you got me. It's me, Ral. Don't worry about it. And she's just like, and he's like, I know, you want an autograph. And he comes over, and he takes out a pre-signed glossy 8x10 of himself. And he says, what's your name, honey? And she's just like, just stunned. And he's like, I'm gonna make it out to my #1 fan. And he signs the thing and gives it to her. And I'm gonna make a wisdom save to see if she can get her like wits together enough to be like, but wait a second, I just saw you in the. Let's see.
God.
Okay, she's a librarian. I'm gonna give her a +1. Let's say it's a difficulty. You want her to fail this. It's difficulty. Let's say 13. He's Ral.
1.
He's a big deal,
1.
and this is weird.
1.
Come on.
She does get a 1.
Yes.
So I think she faints.
Oh,
So she
probably thought this was a tryst. She's like,
she kind of like she looks at Ral, and she blinks, and she looks at the picture, and in the picture he's got his like sunglasses down. He's like winking over them, and then we see her eyes roll back in her head, and she falls down, and Ral's like, oh boy. And he like comes over to her, and he's like, I got an archivist down. Can somebody help me with this? So meanwhile, Winnegar, you are in this area of the archive with these like Azorius blueprints and stuff. Do you want to do anything while you're in here? Are you looking for anything else while you have access?
Yeah, I think
you know that Winnegar would not have access to this, but you are here because you're Ral.
Yeah, I am just like. I felt like Winnegar fell into Ral way too easily. He's got like the confidence of like 20 Winnegars right now. And he's kind of just like milling about the archives. And I imagine you said it was kind of like locked up, or I guess it was like a lot of people aren't allowed in there anymore. Mm-hmm. So I guess he's kind of just like pawing through, see if he sees anything that like catches his eye. He's also singing, what's a stupid song? He's singing a stupid song. He's singing Panama. Instead of Panama, he's singing Ravnica. Ravnica.
Wow.
Ravnica.
That was quick thinking. I like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty douchey song to be singing.
No, I like it. It's perfect.
Yeah. So he's Ral singing Ravnica while he just like flips through stuff, pulls it off the shelf, looks at it like, I didn't know.
As a really quick aside, if you haven't listened to the Reggie Watts version of Panama, it is hilarious. Look that up sometime. Okay. So while you're doing this, you're like digging around looking for information. You hear the door. Now it's like around a stack. You hear a door open, the door into this section of the archive. You hear it open, then you hear it close, and then there's quiet again. There's silence. So somebody has come back, and it doesn't sound like the archivist.
Yeah, not her footsteps.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Winnegar has no fear. He's Ral. So he's just gonna like kind of like poke his head around the corner. poke his head.
Yeah. So when you look around the corner, you see a human man. He's wearing white and black robes. He's holding a bundle of scrolls. He has like a fairly short haircut, and you see the Orzhov like symbol. He's got his guild like pin on his robes. And he looks for a moment before you see him, before he sees you for a moment, he looks like nervous. He looks like he's like looking around. He's breathing like a little bit quickly. But then as soon as he sees you, his nervousness turns to like, he relaxes almost immediately and he smiles. And can you make an insight check real quick before he says anything?
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is the face of a person who, like, it's clear to you that he is here to see Ral, and that he really, really likes Ral.
Oh, okay.
And so he smiles when he sees you, and he says, "I don't know why you always insist on meeting in places like this. It's dangerous." And he walks over and he like goes to kiss you.
Okay, Vinegar is going for it. He's like, Vinegar is 100%. He's just like, I am the king of all things.
So this handsome Orzhov, yeah, like pushes you up against the wall and just lays a big smooch on you.
Yeah,
and
oh man, can this guy tell the difference between Ral's kiss and Vinegar?
Let's find out. Make a
Deception?
Performance check.
Oh God,
performance or deception. They're both valid. Whichever is better for you, you can make it.
This is the moment when like Vinegar becomes James Bond.
Yo!
Turns out Vinegar kind of kisses like Ral, I guess.
I mean, when you walk the walk, you gotta.
That's right. He's a method actor. So yeah, he breaks the kiss and he looks at you, and he says, "You like it. You like the danger. You like thinking we might get caught."
And Vinegar's like it tapped into like Vinegar at that moment. It's just like, oh yeah, maybe I do like the danger. Maybe I do like getting caught. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, of course. That Tweety Bird at the front desk will be back any minute now.
Yeah, and he smiles and he nods, and he says, "It's all right. I'm busy too." And kind of like gives you a look like Big Shot Vice, where I think you're so cool. And he says, I have what you were asking me for. And he reaches into one of his pouches and he takes out a piece of paper and he hands it to you. And his face, like he looks like serious for a second. And he says, "I think this is the one."
Oh, well, and as I reach out to like grab it, I'm like, well, I have something for you too. And I'm gonna pull his gum out of my mouth.
Okay, he like turns bright red and just like pushes you like you dick. And he's like, so he's like, all right, well, and he like scowls. He's like, I'll see you next time.
When he turns around to leave, I just like smack his ass, and then I quickly open up the file. Like,
he's like, Ral. So he goes to leave, and we cut back to actual Ral, who is now standing with this, like, there's this unconscious woman, there's a bunch of other Izzet around, there's like a medic who's like taking her blood pressure, and she's just like lying on the ground, and he's like, I swear people just do this around me sometimes. I don't know, it's not my fault. And I think that we follow Tomek. Tomek goes outside. He hears like all the noise and he's like, oh, I shouldn't be here. I should go. And he goes the other way out of the archive. And so he and Ral never intersect. He goes the other because he's like, oh, something's going on. I should get out of here. And he like slips out the back way.
Oh my God.
So I think Ral is like caught up in the passed out lady situation. You have this piece of paper that Tomek gave you. You take a look at it?
Yeah, I open it right away.
Okay. It has information on. I actually got to get. I can't remember what her real name is. It is there's a woman's name on there. There is some information about her position. It seems to be like a report on a member of the Orzhov syndicate. And at the bottom, there's a note that says, this operative also goes by the name The Rose.
Oh, I have insider information on the Rose.
Yeah, you have her name. You know where she lives. You have her like job in the syndicate. Yeah, like
we showing up at her place.
This is all very, very important personal information about her.
Oh my God.
I have her name, but I didn't think I would need it, but here we are. So I'll get that for you. Okay,
so I'm reading this and like I realized like, oh man, I super cannot get caught. Like especially with this information. So I like hide it on my persons. And then I'm like, I can't wait for this woman to come back. I'm gonna go meet her down on the floor where the copies happen. So I can just run out as soon as she's done with it.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the thing. Like if you wait, oh yeah, her name is Vojka, and she's a ministrant in the Orzhov.
What's that?
She's important. So you want to get out of there, but you don't have the card with the blueprints because she had it because she was going to go and print it. So what do you want to do? Are you going to go find her, or you want to just like slip out of here with this other information instead?
I'm going to go find her. I'm going to go wherever she would have gone to make a copy of this. Okay. All right. So if there's a room or like a copy room or something.
So you wait a minute for Raoul's boyfriend to leave, and then you go out and you start heading towards the entrance, or heading towards the hub. And that's when you hear Raoul's voice. You hear Raoul talking to somebody, being like, I don't know, I just came in and I gave her my autograph and she passed out. Listen, this isn't the first time this has happened, but look, she's fine. I kind of tried to catch her before she hit the floor. She'll be all right. Listen, I don't have a lot of time to stand around and answer your questions, okay? I'm Raoul Zarek.
I'm Raoul Zarek.
Yeah, and so maybe we see Raoul like peek around the corner, and you can see that there's a group of like a half dozen people, her coworkers. There's a medic, and then Raoul looking like, listen, I don't have time to deal with this. I gotta go.
I wanna hide.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm hoping that he passes me, or they all just like disperse in opposite direction. It sounds like he wants to leave her, but I want to keep an eye on her because she has.
Yeah, you can see it. It's lying on the floor near her. Like she passed out holding it, and the little card is on the ground.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hide for a minute and see if like he at least leaves.
Sure. Yeah. Make a stealth check. You can do it with advantage because there's lots of places to hide.
Okay. Let's see.
Nice. 17. Not bad. Okay.
Consistent.
All right. Yeah, that's true. So Raoul walks right past you. You're like hidden in the shadow, and he walks right past you and heads in the direction that you are coming from, right? He's going to meet Tomic.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, yeah.
So he walks past you. So do you want to follow him, or do you want to go and get the card?
Are we wearing the same clothes?
I think it's funnier that way, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna head back. As soon as he passes me, like I run the opposite direction to the woman that's passed out, and be like, "Oh, almost forgot this," and I like pick up the blueprint and be like, and then head back.
So you walk over and you go to you walk back, and they look at you like you just walked away. What the hell? And you go to pick it up, and she's awake enough that she sees you, and she mutters something about like there's two Raoul's. She's like mutters it quietly, and the medic that's tending to her, he looks at her and he's like, what's that, Susan? And she starts to say it again, like more clearly, unless you interrupt.
And I look at him, I'm like, she's seeing double. This happens to me all the time, okay?
And so he looks at you like, yeah, it's okay. She hit her head. And he turns back and he's like, all right, Susan, I'm gonna need you to calm down here. And he takes out like something like to drink, and he like gives it to her. And and she's just like, there's two Raoul's. There's two Raoul's, and he's like, okay, Susan, okay. It's all right. We're just gonna give you a little sedative here, help you calm down. And and she drinks and she looks at you and you see in her eyes like
I'm sorry.
She knows that one of you is fake. And she's just like 2 Rals. And then eventually she just kind of like starts like falling asleep. And he like sits her down. The medic gets up and he's like, I'm so sorry about this, Viceroy. It's really unprofessional behavior, falling on the ground like this. If there's anything that we can do to help you out, just let us know. The archives are at your disposal. Of course, obviously. I'm so sorry, sir.
God, now I don't know if I trust these guys to make a copy for me. I'm going down. He just said, like, Winnegar's just like, oh, don't worry about it. Average day in my life. Am I right, guys?
And you're right. And of course, because they're all a bunch of like sycophants, they all look at each other like, yeah, just average day of being Ral. That's funny. Like they're all some nudging and like you just said something funny and like, oh yeah, very insightful. Like, oh, it must be hard being you, buddy.
Which way to the copy room?
And I think one of the clerks, maybe the original one that led him here, Susan's like side guy. He gets up and he's like, you don't need to worry about that, sir. Let me take care of it. And he puts his hand out to like take the card from you.
I give it to him.
He says,
I made my own copies.
But Viceroy, if I could just pick your brain for a minute, and he kind of like starts walking. He's like, I've got a patent I'm working on getting approved. So I've got this invention. He just basically talks to you about how he's invented this industrial grade food dehydrator where you can like put a whole cow in it alive and push a button and jerky comes out the other end and it only takes 30 seconds. He's like, I just need a bunch of money to make a prototype. And, you'd be a perfect backer for it, Viceroy. If I could get the Ral Zarek name on that patent, I know we could make a ton of money, Viceroy.
Well, is he making the copies in front of me at this time?
Because he's walked you over to the copy room and like,
yeah. Just so he's just like, this sounds like a great idea. I love it. I love it. But there's a lot of questions I got. Okay, like number 1, what are we doing with that blood? Are we just throwing away blood? Are we doing something great with that blood? Also, number 2, where are you getting your seasoning? Do you have a seasoning guy? Because Ral's not putting his name on just some dehydrated meat. It's got to be well seasoned, well preserved. What type of packaging? What type of packaging guy you got? I feel like you're not thinking this all the way through.
And he's like nodding along. He's like, yeah, see, that's exactly the thing, Viceroy. I needed somebody with a little experience, some of that Zarek oomph to really get this business off the ground. I can't be a clerk forever. I mean, no offense to the clerks department, but I got plans. I got big plans. Everybody in Ravnica is going to be wanting our jerky by the time we're done here.
Is he almost done with these copies?
Yeah. So you can see it. It's slowly like
I'm just like dying.
It's like a dot matrix printer, right? So the whole room is just like as the thing is slowly coming out of the machine.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, if I was looking at me, which I'm not allowed to, well, I guess I do it every time I look in a mirror, which is pretty good for mirrors, right? Am I right? Okay. Listen, I like you. I like you, kid. I like the cut of your jib. Why don't you, when you fork over those copies, why don't you put your name and number on? I'll have my people give your people a call. Do you got people?
I could have people.
Stick with me. You're gonna have people,
of course. Yeah. And he like pulls the printed device. He pulls it out, and he turns it over, and he takes out a pen and writes his name on the back, and he hands you the blueprints. He doesn't even look at them. Like there's no way he is even remotely aware of what he just gave you. So he gives you the blueprints, and he says, Viceroy, it's a real pleasure. Normally, people of your stature, they don't stoop to come to the archives. We don't get to see a lot of celebrities around here. So, it's been a real busy day for the archives, and I'm sure when she wakes up, Susan's gonna be real glad that she got to meet you. So thanks, and hey, thanks for believing in the multi-story food dehydration unit. We'll come up with a great name for it. I'll get on that right away.
Well, I mean, it's $1 million idea. I'm just glad I could be a part of it. But yeah, give Susan my best. Let her know there was still only one of me the entire time. Right? very important to my image that people know that there's just one of me. And yeah, okay. And I lean in, grab the paper, and I
you
one
make
of those,
your
like,
exit.
keep walking out of it.
All right. Yeah. So he's like leaning on the machine as you walk away, and all we hear him say, he just shakes his head, and he's just like, "The man's a goddamn genius."
Whittaker's outside smoking a cigarette.
Wipes a tear. Yeah, and you head out. And so you come back outside. You have the plans. You have this information about Ministrant Vojka, and and you're definitely better off than when you came in. So do you head back to the Host in the Shell? Does everybody?
In the Shell, yeah.
Everybody reunites back there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we crossfade to the Host, and everybody is kind of like arriving, having performed their own kind of independent missions.
Whew, that was scary, guys.
Yeah. What? So you tell us about Rose then, about like all this information about her.
Yeah, who's going first?
Yeah.
How
Who
did
wants to go first?
do we have the death clowns? Is that what they are?
Yeah, Torgor was able to mangle. We actually got 10, which I thought was a high ask. Yeah. We got 10 of them. I was aiming for 7. Thought I'd ask for 10, and you know what? Kerfuffle, great guy, truly wonderful. Gave us 10. Also got his whip. Got one of his whips. Man's got so many whips.
Pack is
Also-
just like sitting on the couch with like 1,000-yard stare, and like the hair is all like staticky and sticking straight up, and it's just like, I'm never going to Torgor's house again.
Oh, they love Tack. Tack can go by anytime they want. Oh my goodness.
It's just like that. That stare is just like, no.
Whittaker is just like, he wants to go last. He's so excited. He wants to like close out. He's like, that's awesome, guy. He's like way more excited about what
Oh my
everyone's
God,
doing
guys,
than
that's
what-
so great.
Yeah, that's so great.
No, it's like you have the best Christmas gift, and you're like,
It's like-
oh, my gift's nice, but open the gift I got.
God,
for
it's like
you.
show and tell. Like, yeah, well, my dad's a movie star, so.
Road, how did you
I had a
do?
kiss today. Well, I talked to my sister. She definitely super wants to arrest you, Torgor.
Oh, okay.
So
We're gonna talk
that's-
to her. We're gonna chat. We'll find time.
Torgor, well, honestly, she'd love to have a conversation with you, but I know for a darn near fact that end with you in prison, so I don't know if that's a great idea.
Oh, Torgor's been in prison. It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna let you make the call on that. But if we get Wenzel a lawyer, we can go. That lawyer can go meet him.
Oh, okay. What type of lawyer are we talking here?
That was sort of where I ran out of answers, and they all turned into questions. So
Okay.
we're gonna have to either find a lawyer or pretend to be one.
Mm.
It's really just finding out where he's at. You won't have to do any actual lawyering, I'm pretty sure.
Torgor is like, I'm pretty sure. Torgor pretty sure saw a office right outside hosting the show. You know, like a private practice. We could try to convince one of them to go along with it, and holds up the Orzhov ring that Tack gave him a while ago, and like takes it off, and it's like, this is payment.
Or Winnegar, you could put that ring on and do your magic thing that you do sometimes.
Speaking of putting a ring on it, guys, you won't expect.
You won't guess what happened to me today. I got smooched. And then
What?
he lays down.
I'm sorry,
he
on
just-
purpose?
Whittaker doesn't know how to tell a story.
Right.
He's just like, speaking of none of it makes sense. He's like, I got smooched. And then he puts 2 files in front of them, like blueprints and then like about the rose. He's like, check that out.
What?
What what does smooch mean to you?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's when
No,
don't
go
know
ahead.
here.
Explain this to me.
it's when you're lucky enough to have someone else's boyfriend kiss you in the library, because that's what I got.
Oh yeah, I've been smooched tons of times. That's about right. Yeah.
And then like we all sift through the Rose document and the blueprints. Specifically for the blueprint, I guess I just want to look to see what the weaknesses are and the exits and try to come up with the best plan of attack on paper. Because I imagine there's like a couple ways that we can go about this. There would be the stealth way and then the smash and grab way. So I guess you would be looking at the two ways to like go about getting Wenzel out. The stealthy way, and then also as a second option to the group, the smash and grab way.
Yeah, so you actually like we can just use the Arrestor Station map from Guildmasters Guide. So there are a bunch of these all throughout. You've been in the various levels of one before, but the way that they usually work is there's a set of like waiting rooms and then a courtroom and then a bunch of like meeting halls and offices and stuff in the top layer, and then down below there are cells where people are kept. So you can kind of see it all here. So he would be downstairs somewhere in like this area, probably, if he's in Gen Pop or in high security, somewhere in there. So now you have this. This is basically the stand-in for your blueprint. This is the actual blueprint for the thing.
I can't see anything on my screen.
Use that. Let me.
Yeah, mine's just a cloud of blackness.
Oh, is it just? Oh, I see. Here, let me turn the dynamic lighting off so that you can see everything.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. I was like, I'm looking at it. It looks great. There's that. It's because these maps are used for like moving miniatures around and stuff too. So you have line of sight and dynamic lighting, but we're using it as a piece of paper. So there it is. So this is the blueprint that you got from the Is It archives for this specific District 1 precinct setup. Yeah. So there you go.
So just as oh wow. So which floor is which?
So
which
up
one be
here? I'll put some like labels on these guys. How about that? So the top one is the courthouse, and then
gotcha.
down below is the that area, and then there's a morgue.
Oh god.
And
oh
then
no.
The Arrestor HQ. This is the area in the bottom, sort of bottom right of the map. This is the area where you were hanging out with your sister. Would be up here in this.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, and because it's Ravnica, it's laid out all weird in that, like, if you look at the section over here, this block is the courthouse and the prison block, and then over here is the police station block on the other side.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is where your sister works over on this side.
Okay.
And then this is the courthouse and the little prison.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Rhoda's probably selfishly way more interested in the information on the Rose. She's like holding up. She's like, you kissed someone and they gave you this?
Yeah, and they liked it. Wait, what? Yes. Well, I think they're going to give it to me no matter what. But yeah, I mean, if you want to say my kissing's as good to get secret information, yeah, then yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. He's 14 and he was kissed, okay?
It's fine.
I love it.
I turn to Torgor and Tech. I'm like, do you understand what happened?
No.
I don't.
Okay, but like on purpose?
Yeah.
On purpose.
Okay.
No one's saying Winnegar isn't cute. Like no one's saying this, but
I mean, nobody's saying he is though.
Well, Torgor will speak for the group and say it seems like the talking before the kiss was usually where your foot goes into your mouth.
Guys, I was so money in there.
Oh,
when I am pretending to be,
he didn't talk to whoever he kissed.
For like, like a second, we talked for like, I mean, we didn't talk much, but like, you don't need to be talking when you're doing the limp mambo.
See, this is what I'm talking about. That's what Torgor means.
See, I just can't. I can't
The fact
imagine
that-
somebody would do this purposefully when you call it the lip
I was
mambo.
the fact that you refer to it as the lip mumbo tells me you're not ready.
Yeah. At any point, have you referred to the fact that you use disguise self, or you're just like acting like you yourself?
Oh,
did
yeah, I'm
all-
totally acting. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
totally
huh.
acting like, yeah.
We don't know that you disguise yourself at
I
Ralph.
think the
All right.
moment that we find out, we'll be like, "Oh, that explains it." Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that makes
So
sense.
someone found you, kissed you, and was like, "You're gonna need this."
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it felt like. It definitely felt like that, guys. Like,
Okay, but what was it actually like?
What did it
oh,
actually
I was
feel
dressed up like his boyfriend, and I mean, it's
oh,
like-
yeah,
honestly-
yeah.
honestly, if I bragged about this on Twitter, it would raise a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah.
Definitely
There's like
would
an
raise a-
ethics question there, but I mean, we got this stuff, and
There, it's like Buffy season 4. Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to figure out. I was just trying to figure out while you're all talking about this if Vidal can have lips. They do. They do.
good.
They're just not big. Okay, good.
Who are
Oh,
you
that's not true. These
disguised?
guys, look at this guy. He's got some good smooching.
whoa,
implements.
wait. When you think about it,
Yeah,
like
that's
Yeah.
fine. You got lips.
the fact that Winnegar is able to recreate that then with an obvious like difficulty there,
It's a
that's
different face.
that's amazing.
A lot of
Thank you, Tack. I was
Mm.
great, and I popped some more of those candies. Like,
Who gave you this?
who gave me what? Oh, it's Raul's significant other.
Who's Raul?
Ral.
Raul's a ghoul. The leader.
Raul Zarek? Raul Zarek? How does Torgor know about Raul Zarek?
Get
Oh,
this
Raul
Batman
Zarek, yeah,
out of here. Get that.
Yeah, Rachel Ral. Yeah, I mean the name Ral Zarek is like he's a celebrity, not just because he's a big deal and he is it, but because he's a public figure. So the name might seem familiar to you.
So
Ralph came to
everyone's-
one of our shows once, and
Yeah.
had a good time. Had a real good time.
Okay. Why were you disguised as Ral Zarek?
Because they keep records of everyone who checks out blueprints, so I didn't want to be on the record for this.
Okay, that's actually really smart.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Tax,
great
don't be
job.
on my side this time. This is my day.
Okay, but you kissed somebody without them actually knowing who.
Yeah,
you
I feel real bad. I thought about it later, and I was just like, consent's really important.
You
And
brush your teeth.
I didn't brush my teeth at all. They tasted like,
Oh!
yeah, no, they had bubblicious bubble gum in their
Oh, their molars have been in that. Oh, yeah.
mouth.
I like that you found something that grosses Tack out. That's hard
I
to
know.
do. I'm very
Sharing bubble
impressed.
gum.
I don't know why, but like I usually wouldn't care, but Tack was like, "Oh no,
Sharing bubble gum. Ooh.
oh, it was on their gum line."
Oh.
Enjoy somebody
Yeah,
else's
it's pretty fucking
gingivitis.
disgusting.
I mean, let's be real.
Take all the romance
Most
out.
human physical interaction's pretty gross. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, so it says that she's Orzhov
Mm-hmm.
and it was Vrosh?
So yeah, it's not too surprising given that she's a vampire.
Yeah.
A hot vampire.
She is a hot older lady vampire.
Hell yeah! Oh man,
But
yes.
yeah.
Every woman in this campaign is just some version of Michelle Pfeiffer, and this is older Michelle Pfeiffer.
Voshka's black though, so
Oh yeah, damn.
like Vivica
Angela
Fox,
Bassett.
maybe.
There we go.
She's a little younger than
Angela
Angela Bassett, but yeah. So yeah, she's a ministrant in the Orzhov. And this is a report, like a personnel report on her gathered by Orzhov, kind of like internal intelligence assets. And yeah, it tells you like she's a member of the Orzhov clergy. She is ambitious. She has like a bunch of important connections within the Orzhov, but this report specifically calls out that she is related to, like, the reason that they looked for her in the handwritten note on here is that AKA the Rose, and it looks like Raul was getting information from his boyfriend about this person.
Torgor thinks we should, now that we know the Rose's address, drop this off in her mailbox with a note being like, "You're being watched. Also, where do we drop off Ironclad once we have him?
No, I think we go pay her a visit because if she's Orzhov, she can get us a lawyer.
Oh.
I don't know. She uses
Dang.
a code name for a reason. What if we go pay her a visit and then she thinks like, oh crap, these guys know where I live and
Yeah,
Well, no, it's fine.
We know. Wouldn't it be meaner to pretend like we didn't know?
Mm-hmm. Torgor agrees. Also, Torgor is itching to use a whip on a vampire. If it comes to it, like.
Are you sure you're not just itching to use a whip?
Okay, yeah. Torgor's honest. Yes, very itching to use a whip. Thinking about new ways, all the ways to use this whip, and also thinking about my loot. And then like Torgor just stops.
Oh no! So Washington deer.
As they're having this conversation, I want to be staring at the outside of the folder and just kind of like putting things together because, okay, if Ral is secretly looking up information on the Rose, would that make Ral the Rose's enemy, or does that mean Ral is working for Jace? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, right?
Like,
So I kind of convey that to everyone.
I'd say Ral is probably working for Jace. That's what I would hazard a guess that, because do we know that Ral is also a planeswalker? Like, no. Okay.
No. I think that the compact knows that Jace is not. So everybody knows about Jace Beleren. They all know that he is the living Guildpact, and a bunch of magic stuff happened that made him that. But nobody knows that the other planes exist, really. Not nobody, but most people don't.
Sure.
And then the fact that there are a special kind of person that can travel between the planes, almost nobody knows that. Most people think that Jace became the Guildpact and then just kind of like disappeared. Like he's around Ravnica somewhere. And like people are looking for him because they need him. Especially the Senate needs him to do things.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. Like Jesus.
He ascended.
Many people believe that Jace Beleren was a real person, but not everyone thinks that he's the Messiah. So yeah, like Jace, they know Jace Beleren is the Guildpact, and they know he's important, and they know he's a powerful like wizard or whatever. But planeswalking is not really a thing anyone knows about, except for people who are already those things, and there are a few of them. But yeah, you wouldn't know that.
I would say Ral Zarek only because of like his popularity and name. Torgor was like, Jace isn't a part of any guild, but it feels like if he were, he might be consigned with someone like Ral.
Yeah.
Ral already has friends across guilds in a dangerous way. As we know, we're friends across guilds and we're trying to do something dangerous.
Oh.
I don't like it.
Friends?
What if this goes all the way to the top, guys? What if everyone who is like super powerful in Ravnica is in on this stuff?
Well,
this is like enemy of the state stuff.
I thought Jace was the top, so it already goes all the way.
It does, yes. It does already go all the way to the top.
I mean,
this is more, it goes to the middle.
Right.
Well, it goes all the way to the middle, guys.
What if it was bigger on the bottom than we thought it was?
It's like a hostess treat.
So what if we sneak over to the Rose's place and we say sorry a lot, but we also bring the thunder?
I feel like the Rose would be really stoked if you just show up at her house.
Oh, most definitely.
This doctor definitely doesn't work, right?
Well, we can turn it on and power it, but
wait, no, I mean we don't want to turn it on when we're at her house.
Oh no, definitely not.
That would be even better. Like, hey, A, we know who you are and where you live. B, we brought you this activated security robot. Here you go.
We're live streaming our location right now. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is like we have one bad thing, and it's that we know where she lives and we're going there now. But we have a lot of really nice things. Here's a thought. We know you're being watched, and we found out for you.
Also,
we're breaking out.
Exactly.
So it's It's like an ice cream sandwich. You gotta put the compliments on either side and the bad news in the middle.
Wait, the ice crew's the
The
bad
ice
part of the
cream's
ice
the
cream
best part.
sandwich?
Yeah. Hold on, Road. Hold on, Road.
That's the
Road.
entire point.
Stop everything. Stop everything right now, Road. Road, I need to know your feelings on ice cream. It's imperative for our friendship and the rest of the crew.
We're not friends.
Tell us what's the best part of ice cream.
The toppings?
What?
Hold on, Road. So when you
Okay,
get
Toro is like this is
Torgo
mad.
just
This is
walks
it's like he needs to go outside. He's like having a cigarette. Has never smoked before in his life, but now needs a
Everyone,
cigarette.
like,
There's something,
everyone's
there's something,
upside down.
there's something so funny about the idea of Torgor with this like tiny little cigarette in his hand, just like smoking out of his cow's face. Big
Just right in between a
nostrils.
hoof. Yeah.
just
You know, it's
I thought
better. It's better that you found this out now rather than finding Road like getting an ice cream sandwich and scraping the ice cream off into the trash.
and she just like takes the two
What?
like sandwich halves and just pours like sprinkles between
Yeah.
them and then puts it like, together and just like makes eye contact as she bites into it and sprinkles just like stream down the chin. It's just like
It's perfect.
if you wanted
Or-
candy, you can get candy anytime you want, Road.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, it's kind of like when you have an Oreo, but you take the middle out first.
What?
And
you take the Oreo out because that's the best part though, the
Right.
cream.
anyways, so what if we go?
Let's go get Wenzel. That's what this is all for. Let's go get him.
We don't have a lawyer. We need a lawyer.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that's if we don't have to. We could do the smash and grab if we enter through here, and chances are they're keeping him in like a high security area, so he's probably on this floor there, and maybe around one of these 10 cells.
I feel like the Rose is already gonna be mad because we know where she lives. She's already gonna be mad because we kind of stole a Thopter. And if we bring her a dead Wenzel, maybe she will be mad.
Torgor walks back in. No, I hate to say this, but I agree with this ice cream monster over here. Hey,
Torgor, keep up. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about ice cream right now.
no. Torgor is like, no. I think we get the lawyer, and then sneak our way out. And if it goes to hell, smash and grab. Because also with the distraction of the murder clowns, a sneaky mission under the guise of pretense will make it much easier.
While they're saying this, I want to write Rose a letter, pen a letter that we want the snakiest red tape lawyer that you got to meet us at this time at the courthouse.
We can't make any drops right now. Our drops have been compromised.
We have to go physically meet her.
Okay. Oh, we have to physically meet her?
I mean, not all of us, but I think at least some of us have to go.
If we do,
The
if we,
people
like,
less
pass
likely to
right
die.
on our way there,
Mhm.
and then only one of us knocks on the door and then asks for the four of us to come in, like
Got it.
polite.
No, I think it's better if we all stand outside because she's not going to want us all outside.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, three of us will hide in the shadows, while one of us has to come in, and then all of us will go inside.
Winnegar
I mean,
should ask.
Probably kill
Torgor-
us because we.
It's very
but
hard for
that's
Torgor to hide in shadows because shadows are not Torgor size.
That's a good point.
Okay, I don't think that you, a wanted criminal, should be seen going into her house. That's kind
What
of the thing.
district is she in? Do we know what district she's in?
Yes, she lives in. Let me look at my map here because she lives in the like Orzhov district. So I think it's precinct 4.
Nice. And that's
let's
Host in the Shell is still in precinct 4, right?
Oh no, 4 is where Sunholm is. 4 is the Boros.
Okay.
So let me see. 11 is Nivix. Yeah, she's like wherever the main like Orzhov like stuff is. Maybe even like precinct 1. Yeah, it's Guildhall. Orzhova and the Vizkopa Bank are in precinct 1. So let's say she lives in 1. So you've been like causing trouble in her neighborhood right now. Like
Got
that's
in one little fight. And the Rose got scared.
Yeah, okay. So she lives in precinct 1.
Well, I think she's that close. One of us should go and be like sneaky about it. Someone that maybe knows the streets.
None of us know
Like
this.
we're all waiting for like Winnegar to like
Yeah.
look at someone, makes no eye contact with any person or direct.
It's perfect.
Well, Torgor can't go. They're looking for Torgor.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
But Torgor can always be and like puts on the Vigo disguise really quick. Vigo Mortensen.
Is it
Well,
I
just
gave him a last name. Mortensen.
is it just like a fez? It's just different hats.
It's a fez and honestly the flute on a necklace. Like that's all the addition.
A fringe vest.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Return of the King. Okay.
Is it what time? Is it nighttime?
I mean, it's like Ravnica time. It's always kind of like gloomy and twilight. Sometimes it's just darker than others.
Oh, great. Well, if we go under the escape of twilight, I think we might.
I can't go anywhere by myself. I get distracted.
I
Tack
can go
says
with
as they attempt to fit the entire fish monkey's head in their mouth.
Yeah. The monkey seems resigned to its fate.
Hell yeah.
But you guys can't start the heist without Tack or I. So at that point, why not make it a full event?
Let's do it. It's like Torgor like gets up and it's like, I mean, honestly, I'm always ready to see the rose because like I think we all got a crush on her. I think we all like really like.
I don't have a crush on her, and I don't know why. Anyways, let's go.
Winnegar just keeps thinking about this handsome advocate.
Yeah. He probably only gave like half the gum back.
But he also doesn't know why either. I think he's just like really confused. Like, I just like spying a lot. Just like espionage, I guess.
I'm starting to realize like why he was attached to the team because he's very like Tack had believed for a long time that his willingness to get way too deep into characters was like somehow a flaw, but it seems like it's really working.
Yeah, it's
It
working
is
out great.
working.
Oh, by the way, Torgor, I got you a gift.
What?
This sea monkey, and I pull the
Pull it out of Tack's mouth, I guess. Or...
yeah, I pull it like back up onto the coffee table.
After Tack gave that huge fucking lecture about the gum.
Is the sea monkey like I immediately start looking at it? Can I use animal handling on it to get an understanding of it?
Yeah. I mean, animal handling is for like getting it to do stuff. Nature check would be to figure out like what it is.
Okay.
And while Torgor's looking at it, I go, yeah, they were probably gonna put it down, and you were talking about how much you like little weird beast things. So,
Do you guys remember the Sea Monkey TV show?
I do.
Yes.
It was horrifying.
I sure do.
It
like
was
scary. The
live
way the
action.
cone heads is scary.
The best.
Oh, so
Okay.
scary.
All right, so here's the thing, Torgor. Torgor got an 8 on the nature check. So it has the basic shape of a monkey, but it's blue and green. It has fish scales. It has gills and big, like bulging yellow eyes and like a fin on top of its head. But it's shaped like a monkey and has like a long tail. And you got a 14 in animal handling. So whatever this abomination is, it likes you. So
Heck
if you open the cage, it like scampers away from. Actually, I guess it was out of the cage already because Tack was trying to eat it. It
I
scampers
fully
away
believe
from.
Tack's head is stuck in the cage. I'm trying to eat it.
Good. It's a new hat. And the sea monkey scampers away from Tack, climbs up your arm and sits down on your shoulder, and immediately starts like grooming you.
Yes, and then I fill up my minotaur horn with water from a nearby faucet and just splash him with it.
Okay. Cool. Cool. He's into it. Yeah. So he's just hanging out on your shoulder. Just making sure you don't have fleas.
I need to come up with a Torgor needs a new name for my little buddy.
Yeah, sea monkey needs a name for sure. But that's all right. We
All
can
right.
Put it on the to-do list.
Yeah.
heroic to-do list as a team.
Tack doesn't name anything they were gonna eat, so
Oh well,
Yeah.
Road, thank you. This is very nice.
Yeah.
I-
You're
I-
welcome. That's what I say. I'm sorry. You're welcome. All right, let's do a thing that someone will be mad at us about.
Mhm.
we bringing the Thopter? We gotta bring the Thopter, right? We
We
can't
got
leave
it.
it
We
here.
got to bring the Thopter.
So
we
bad.
left it here all day and it was fine, right?
Yeah, but that's like for 10 minutes. And I would feel bad if Dregs died because we left a weird robot in his karaoke room.
Man, who takes care of the host in the shell if he dies?
Yeah, your cake supply would be like,
My
zilch.
cakes. And that's terrible.
You're right.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna go visit the nice lady.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
not going to see the rose then, or yeah. I mean, if you want to, you can just head over to Precinct 1 and find her like mansion.
I'd like to spend 2 of my key to do pass without a trace on all of us, and I'd like all of us to head there without being detected.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We would like that.
Okay.
How are we transporting it?
Yeah, the Thopter is in like a box. It's quite light, right? Like it's like basketball shaped or bowling ball size with little wings. And even though it's made out of metal and crystal and stuff, it's quite light because it's got to be able to fly. So you can just like wrap it in a burlap sack and carry it, or you can take it in the box that it's in because it's all like kind of semi disassembled right now. So there's that. That's an option.
Yeah, let's just take it disassembled.
Yeah, just bring it in the box.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Torgord's the only one who's capable of carrying the box without it being a big hassle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So Torgor, you've got the big box under your arm, and you all head out stealthily towards Precinct 1 to make your way to the Rose's estate. And estate it is. The Rose either has money or has been given a great deal of it. She lives in a mansion. It is a walled estate with one main kind of Gothic building with several wings, and then smaller buildings. She has guards out front, like Orzhov, and most of the people that are like her servants and her guards are either like humans who are paying off their debt to the syndicate, who she's like collected their debt, or they are thralls, like bodies whose spirits have been removed and they have been bent. Their bodies have been bent to service. Yeah, so she has a bunch of like indentured servants and stuff. And when you arrive, there's a big wrought iron gate out front. She has 2 armored guards standing with halberds, and then there are up top there are gargoyles sitting on the pillars, like gargoyle thralls, and they like look down at you as you approach.
I didn't realize you have to do anything besides knock on a door.
Yeah, her
Oh,
house
no.
is fancy.
Oh no.
She lives in a fancy
Great.
vampire house.
My dream.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you
I like go up to one of the guards and be like, "Oh, hi there. We're here to see," and I like double check, like pull up the sheet,
yeah.
and like read her name again.
Yeah, her name is her title is ministrant. She's a ministrant, and her name is Vojka.
Ministrant Roshka. You can say bunt cake and the gang are here.
And the guard looks at you, and from under his big like cyclopean helmet, he says, "Is the mistress of the house expecting you?"
Desperate.
Not really, but she will be
Yes.
happy to see you.
She's
I like hearing you try to interrupt and be like, but I
Togo, what?
Here, let me I'll put a mark on here for her house. Let's see, she's in Plaza South. It's got a mansion down here. Put a white her on there. There you go. Okay. So you're gonna try to persuade them to go and get her.
Or yeah, I think more or less like pass the word that we are even here to see her.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
So the guards look at you, and one of them looks up, and the thrall that's like hunched on the top looks down and makes kind of like a whining sound, and then jumps off the edge and flies off towards the mansion.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're weird little creatures. A thrall is. Let me see if I got a picture of one I can show you. They're kind of hideous. Let's see here. Yeah, one of these guys. Pretty gross looking. It's like a kind of fleshy, yeah, like a fleshy creature made out of a human corpse. These ones have wings, not all of them do. And and it flaps off to go and get the mistress. So you wait out in the rain. You have sort of any last preparations that you want to do before your friend comes?
Hey guys, we just get in and out. We say, hey, we need this. Hey, you look really good. Gotta go. And then we're out of there, okay?
Yeah, and if she kills us, it's been fun. So
You're right.
Also,
it's been nice knowing you, everybody.
I got a name for the monkey.
Oh, thank goodness.
Wait,
Mogus. Mogus.
Mocus?
Mogus. Mogis. Named after the god of slaughter.
Oh, that's
Excellent.
that's
Make a note.
that's great.
that's pretty cool, Torgor.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, Mogus.
Mogus seems into it.
Mhm.
He like nods and yeah, he's digging it. He's digging his new name.
Mhm.
So you're out here for a minute before another servant comes to the door. He walks out from the front of gate of the estate and takes the long walk down the path. And he's got an umbrella and he's wearing a like a black and white, like basically like a butler's outfit. He's got gray skin. He's bald, and he walks up and he looks at the group of you, and he says, "The mistress awaits within, this way." And the gates slowly like creak open.
All right,
Thank
let's
you
dive
very
in.
much.
Go
Told you.
Let's go.
Mhm.
All right. So the group of you are led up through the rain to the front door of this enormous Orzhov edifice, and you come inside, and it's clear that the Rose does not like. There are fireplaces in the house, but none of them are lit. The place is fairly dim. There's no like light, and the butler reaches up to a candelabra and hands you a candle, and he says, "Mind your step."
Oh, okay.
We will
Thanks.
mind.
And then he gestures like this
We're
way,
so gonna die.
and he begins to lead you into the depths of the mansion.
Okay. Ooh, look at the stonework here.
Mm.
These places are a lot more mildewy than you think they would be, huh?
I want to be this rich one day.
Yeah, like you walk by a marble statue of some kind of like Orzhov like figure that's like it's probably cost more than you have paid for your apartment for your whole life.
Oh yeah.
There's artwork all over the walls. This place is it's like somebody built a really fancy castle and filled it with expensive stuff, then they died. Because it doesn't seem very lived in. There's no like there's no lights on. The place is cold. And you get to a door, and the butler he opens it, and there's a small like stone room, and there's stone stairs that go down like a spiral staircase, and he says, "The lady of the house is below."
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, here we go. Guys, are you ready?
Yeah, we had to
Mhm.
upstairs. Are we anyone staying up here, or we're all gonna die down there, right? That's what we feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
look back at that thrall. What do I gauge from their look?
Well, so there's the butler, the thrall.
butler, yeah.
The thrall stay outside, but the butler, he just kind of gives you an ominous look, right? Like he picks up on the nervousness and he kind of just gives you a look like, have fun. And he like closes the door behind you.
Torga's like, oh, that's so nice. That's so nice of that butler to close the door behind us. Okay.
Yeah. So when you finish saying that, you hear click of a lock.
Oh, cool. He
This
just
has been a
locked the
really-
door.
Oh, nice.
This has been a really terrible day for TAC where they're just threatened everywhere they go and like genuinely threatened. It's like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. So on the plus side, TAC, you're going underground. So that's nice. That's familiar.
Okay. Considering you're not letting me have anything for being underground, whatever.
Well, so this is the thing, is that unlike the verdant undergrowth of the Golgari swarm, this is like a dry tomb, right? Nothing is alive down here. You don't.
Why would you phrase this as something that's good and then immediately backtrack into the opposite?
I'm just trying to balance things out here. I'm trying to give you something to look forward to and then take it away from you.
It's a dry tomb.
Yeah. So you descend down the stairs, lit only by this candle. You descend down the stairs, and you figure you're probably like 3 or 4 stories down before you reach another door. And you get to this door, and on it, it's a stone door, and inscribed on it is an image, a relief of a weeping woman. So she's wearing like a mourning veil, and you can see there are like stylized tears like down the sides of her face, and she's clutching like a handkerchief.
Who puts this in their house?
That's so hot. I can't even tell you.
Are you joking? This is
No, I'm
ridiculous.
not.
This is why nobody smooches you.
What?
Yeah.
I got smooched. Guys, I was smooched hard. Okay, just open the door.
I love it. Nerd.
Yeah.
We open the door? We try?
Yeah, you can.
Is it-
It's fine. It opens. All right. So yeah, it opens. And when you come in, it's clear that you see a you see a tomb. Like this is a crypt. There is at first a long hallway, and on either side of the hall there are stone shelves, and on the shelves there are. It wouldn't be unreasonable to say hundreds of human skulls. And on the archway leading into the hall, there are the words "beloved servants" etched in the archway. And as you walk down this hall, there are just like all of these like rictus grin like skulls just like lining the hallway.
This has been good.
So it says, yeah, beloved servants. And then you reach the end of the hall, and it opens up into a chamber. And in this chamber, there is again another archway. And in the archway here, there is the Orzhov like symbol in the keystone. And then on either side, there are sarcophagi, like big stone crypts. And each one on it has engraved an image of a matriarch or patriarch of this like family. You can see there are like noble looking elders and what have you. And as you walk in, you feel a chill kind of like run down your spine, and you feel as though you're being watched.
Oh. Guys, this is so creepy. Also, do vampires pee and or poop? Do they use all like everything that they like, because they're drinking blood, but like I drink stuff too, but like my body like takes out all the nutrients and the things that it needs, and it gets rid of all the bad stuff. Do vampires use all of the blood? Or
Maybe they're like owls and they just yarp up like little pellets.
No, you think they're like
all they're drinking is liquid though, so maybe they just pass it normally. Maybe vampires
but we agreed they pee right then.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh they have. I mean, come on, you can't just take in liquid. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I feel like no.
Yeah, especially I've seen a vampire drink an entire human being in one sitting. All right, you can't just hold all that.
Okay, but have you ever seen one pee?
That's true too.
Oh, that is
Guys,
very
are
true.
they using all of it? Are they getting? Is it like 100% absorbed into their system?
That's fascinating.
Maybe that's how they feed other vampires, like little baby birds.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
vampires are just birds.
Does it squirt back out of their teeth? Like, or are there like holes in their teeth, like
are the
straws?
holes
Or
in the teeth? Why are the teeth going inside?
No, those are
Right.
like mosquitoes.
Drink it.
That's why you get like a
Yeah.
big bump there.
oh, it's just the cut to make the hole open. Okay,
Yeah, that's just the cut.
got it.
You want to
But
know what I
they're
think?
they're
There's
so far
not to-
apart.
If any of you ask her if she pees, I'll kill you myself.
What's
of
up,
course,
Rose?
of
So
course.
do you pee? That wasn't in your file. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen a vampire ask for a bathroom break. So
Also
That's
very
true, too.
What if they all have like catheter bags?
All right, so
Oh.
we're
no way. They wear like some super skin tight outfits.
You're right. You're right.
No
you're
way.
right.
We know. We know.
Impossible.
Maybe they just sweat their pee out.
Torgar just starts walking around.
No,
the
because
space.
they'd be red all the time.
So it's essentially like just like a wider hallway. There's no like side rooms or anything. This is just like a hall for the honored dead of like this family. And there's like probably like 24 of these sarcophagi along the way as you walk forward. And as you approach the end, and this is just such perfect timing, as you approach the end, you see that there is a statue kind of at the end of the thing of someone who looks quite a lot like the Rose, but older, maybe more like stern looking. And there's this statue, and then standing before the statue, and I don't know if anybody saw the movie The Favorite, but this person, you see the Rose here, and she's dressed like Rachel Weisz in the scene where they're shooting the guns. She had this like long black and white brocade coat, and then like the like tricorn hat with the feather in it. And when you walk up, she turns around, and we just see the look on her face, and it is just like pure cold rage. And that's where the episode ends.
Perfect.
Yeah.
she just kills us.
Yeah. She's just so mad. But we'll see what it is that she's mad about when we do our next episode. So there you go.
We're definitely getting Jace next episode, though.
Oh, for sure.
It's gonna happen.
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Definitely.
What's
gonna
gonna happen is she's gonna fake our deaths
Mhm.
and transform us into like Ral, Zarek, and all the other Planewalkers. Then he has to come to our funeral.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Planeswalkers, I think that Planeswalkers are like Highlanders in that you have to die to find out that you are one. So she's like, I don't know, we got like a 4% chance one of you is a Planeswalker. Everybody gets stabbed.
Mhm.
See if you come back to life. I think that's how that works.
oh
Yeah.
man. That's so
Um,
good.
So let's hand out some experience. So I think everybody learned something about Jace Beleren and his conspirators or servants. We learned that Ral is personally interested in the conspiracy, and that Ral might be working with Jace or for Jace. We don't know, but that's possible. But definitely you've connected Ral to the greater conspiracy, so that's good. Everybody gets an experience. Did anyone express a unique aspect of their class, their character's race, or their background?
I mean, Winnegar did.
Yeah.
I think Winnegar definitely
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
for sure.
So yeah, because you went to the Is It place, you interacted with, and you doubled down on it by pretending to be somebody more important than you are in your own guild,
Mhm.
which was nice.
Yeah.
And now, because Tomic and Ral are gonna have a conversation, and Tomic is gonna be like, "I gave you that paper, we smooched," and Ral's gonna be like, "Honey, we did not smooch," and then they'll both be like, "Oh shit, we gotta go find out who you were smooching by
You
accident."
gotta talk to Suzanne.
That's right. We gotta go.
Yeah, the smooch is 100% more important than the confidential Orzhov agents.
Yeah, well, because he knows that information. You can write it down on another piece of paper, but now somebody else knows it too.
Yeah. And
Yep.
also smooched.
Also smooch.
Yeah.
Dangerous smooching.
Smooches and knives.
Yep. Okay, cool. Did anybody express their connection to their guild in a meaningful way? I think yes. Torgor definitely did. Yep.
Mhm.
I think that Winnegar still falls under that, TBH.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Winnegar gets both because there was a background and a guild. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Cool. And did anybody's alignment get them in trouble? I don't think so. I think everybody's pretty well behaved today.
Even
Yeah.
I was gonna say I lost my loot, but
Yeah.
that's because I wanted a whip. But that's not really that bad.
Yeah, that was more of a trade. Okay.
So every
Cool.
time we go up a level, the experience points go up 1 too, right?
When you basically spend your experience. So like if you have like to get from level 1 to 2, it would be 4 plus your level in experience. So you need 5 to get to level 2. Then that all resets. And you need another 6 to get to level 3. And then another 7 after that to get to level 4, etc.
Okay, so
You're probably pretty close to level 4, hey?
Yeah, I just broke level 4
Just
right
broke
now.
4? Okay, awesome. I will make a note to.
Cool. So I got a level.
The feet.
Okay. What's so funny though is that like we've had like what 3 fights ever. Like we're ignoring so much of what D&D cares about. We're just like, well, we'll make some skill checks and saving throws. Those are fun. That's a good way to resolve stuff.
Yeah, smooching and do vampires pee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay
listen,
tuned.
It's fine. It's totally.
That's all I care about.
We're also more. It's a conspiracy,
It is
you
a
know.
conspiracy.
Like it is much more about like shadow work and
Yeah,
espionage.
for fighting, we're doing our jobs wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I like
And
it.
we're already so bad at our jobs. We really don't
Well,
need.
I mean, what's great
What
about
the
it
hell?
too is that the ultimate like villain, and this is sort of a funny thing, is that like with Dovin and with Ral, none of the planeswalkers have stats in the game. Like you can't actually go like if you picked a fight with Ral, I would be justified to be like he just blasts you with lightning and you evaporate. Like you can't hurt him. So you have to use these other ways to get at it, which is cool, which is why I like gaining levels and getting the combat stuff is less important because even if you had it, your enemies are just like it's like fighting gods basically. Yeah, which is quite
Wait
cool.
a second. Are you saying that it might be unrealistic to target Jace Beleren?
Or if you want to look at it another less pessimistic way, you just got to find somebody else to kill him for you. Get them caught up in the thing.
Ral.
Now I will
We'll
say
Jace Smooch Tomic.
I will say this.
Beleren.
I will say this about Jace, and we talked about this a little bit at the beginning. Jace's ex-girlfriend is Vraska, and Vraska is a rising star in the Golgari. She hasn't seized control of it yet, but she's about to. She also killed
She hot, though?
Asperia.
Let me look.
So
Mooch.
she's very
A
hot.
smooch?
Yes,
You
she
sure?
is.
I want to see
Oh
for
my God,
smooching.
She
Cat, you
might
gotta
she might be the hottest. If I had to make a list
Oh,
of all
she
the
is hot.
Planeswalkers, she's really hot. Yeah.
Dang,
Wait,
she's
someone-
real hot though.
Vraska is like A+ murder mom material. Yeah.
She's got like head tentacles.
She's a hot-
I'm here
yeah,
for it.
She's a Gorgon.
I love her.
What?
Yeah, that face.
No, I love her so much. No, you already told me I have to smooch her. You can't smooch her.
No. I will make way. I will wing woman the best of my
So
ability.
anyway, that
Thank
might be
you.
a way. You might be able to get Vraska to turn on her ex-boyfriend Jace.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Wait, that's so to the heart of John Tucker Must Die.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
So hot.
Yeah. So yeah, they were a thing in Ixalan before he found out that he was Jace, back when he thought he was like somebody else because he was all mind wiped. And then I guess they both found out who he was. I don't know why they broke up, but I'm sure it's because he's a douchebag.
She's like, oh man, you mean you're not just like a random guy that I picked up off the street and was charmed by?
And
You're
that's the thing about Jace is like
powerful.
if you were Jace Beleren, international douchebag of mystery, and you lost your memories and you built your new identity as someone who's less crappy than you are, and then you found out later you got your memories back, you're like, oh, welp.
Isn't that the
I love her
plot
so
of that Jim Carrey movie, like The Majestic?
I don't know.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh yeah, I
I
haven't
thought
seen
you
The-
were
the
talking
Majestic?
about
The
number
Majestic,
23 or
Majestic.
whatever.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the number 23 where like his mind is wiped and he was a serial killer. There's a lot of Jim Carrey movies like that.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently. Well,
I
I'm
can't
gonna
believe Jason was played by Jim Carrey.
I'm gonna polish up on the romantic background of Jace Beleren as soon as I get a chance.
And
Why
Beleren.
did Jace and Vraska break up? I don't know. We'll find out.
She's too hot for him.
Yeah, exactly. She probably just figured out like, whoa, you're
like,
kind
whoa.
of an
Hold on.
interstellar fuckboy, and I'm not into it. Well, we'll find out more about which planeswalkers are smooching which planeswalkers next time on Jace Beleren Must Die. And in the interim, you can find all these cool people doing cool stuff. We'll start with Torgor up in the corner. what is your deal, my friend? Where can people find you when you're?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. I am out here now on social media doing things. If you're in Chicago, I've got shows happening. You can find out about that stuff through my social media. Otherwise, I'll be back next week, ready to do some more Rakdos good and bad.
Nice.
What shows do you have going on in Chicago?
I have the Bob Curry Fellowship next, the showcase for next Wednesday.
So anyone who doesn't know, this is like a huge deal. This
Big
is like
deal.
a really freaking big deal in Chicago. Like Bob Curry Fellowship breaks like new like talent in Chicago, not even just in Chicago. Like people come from all over to try to do this fellowship, and they only select the best of the best. And these people, I would say more than half go on to like actual big jobs in like movies and like writers and stuff like that. This is a big deal, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Thanks, man.
when you in a couple of years from now, when you see Masood on his very own Netflix special, remember we played D&D together first.
Yeah,
What you don't know is the Netflix special is a D&D campaign.
Oh!
Well, I know whose wagon I'm hitching myself to.
Time to ride
That's right.
coattails to the top.
Well, good. I'm into it. Excellent. TK, why don't you go next?
It TK. I am currently updating our session notes.
Wow.
They're now updated.
Well done. You did it.
I write spooky stories on the internet. You can read them if you like spooky stories at tkjwrites.com. And if you don't like spooky stories, don't tell me because I don't care. Follow me on Twitter. TK joins the fray. I'll be mean to you there too. I just won't look as good.
Oh my god, all that was perfect.
Savage.
You don't need a
shout-outs.
copywriter at all.
Savage shout-outs. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I have a schedule on Twitter somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll update it. Goodbye. Buy my book.
Do it. Go buy the book. All right, Carlos.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Carlos Luna. You can find me on all social media under Carlos Crits. You can find me on Rivals. I believe we start streaming Rivals of Waterdeep actually 2 weeks. June 9th at noon Central Standard Time. Other than that, Dungeon Rats comes out weekly. That's a podcast you can download. It's actually really funny. And I think the next thing I'm going to is Gen Con. I think that's my next thing. So that's a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, because I guess it's what are the next big ones? Like PAX West is before Gen Con.
Yeah,
Gen Con is the big guy. Yeah.
Yeah, are you doing PAX West?
Yeah. Well, it's next door.
It's right by. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I'm having those Gen Con feels where I'm like, I have so much stuff to do, and I'm sure when I get there it's gonna be good, but I hate all the lead up to it. Like I will be on the airplane to Gen Con being like, why am I doing this? I hate this. And then I'll get there and be like, aw, look at all my friends.
You know, and it's funny because like I learned more. Like that was my first year of just doing conventions and traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I learned so much this year. Like it's like not just about your schedule, but also promising. I made a lot of promises like in the months leading up to things, and like I forgot about it, and then things just start appearing like, oh, you got to do this and that, and you're like, oh man, I can't sleep apparently.
I had to do the search my email for the word Gen Con to see all the things I agreed to do. Yep.
Yes, yeah,
it's good stuff.
It all sounds good now when I'm not doing anything but that day.
Yeah. So I guess if you're gonna be at PAX West for me or gonna be at Gen Con, you'll have the opportunity to find Carlos and I there at least. Yeah. So last but not least, Playing Road. I gotta say Katie, your surprise faces and your panic faces today were A+. Very good.
Yeah.
The whole scene with Tomic was so great. Thank you for that.
They're just it's a very visceral experience, and I'm coming from podcasting where I can make whatever faces I want.
True.
But now I'm here where I get YouTube comments about the faces I'm making. It's kind of like, oh, well. So But yes, I'm Katie May. You can find me at Twitter at OKKatieMay. Mostly I'm just tweeting about my brilliant concept, The Real Housewives of Ravnica. That's what I've been up to.
I saw that. I'm into it.
Yes. But you can also find me DMing for a bunch of lovely ladies on Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice. We are about to resume after our spring break. So now's a really good time to get caught up if you're looking for me to DM a bunch of comedians from Chicago.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. Thank you. Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been Jace Beleren Must Die, brought to you by Roll20. I hope that you will attend the next episode. But if this is your first time watching, if you just tuned into the D&D channel because you saw it was live, you can find all of the previous episodes over on YouTube, on Roll20 app over there, and a bunch of other really good content, both for D&D and for other games. So definitely go check it out. And if you want to play a game yourself, go sign up for a free account at roll20.net. You'll see us again next time for more shenanigans, and definitely they're going to get Jace next time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
sure.
it.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%.
All right,
Yeah, in that room.
we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.